Hello, my name is Chad Hedin, and I'm an interventionist with Action Brings Change. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what's the cost of not doing an intervention. Many costs can be incurred by not proceeding when an intervention is needed. And the obvious, number one, is that you are left with the dysfunction, the behavior, the outbursts, the DUIs, the drug charges. The list is infinite. And with a little careful planning and an intervention, those things can be curtailed. One of the most common reasons is cost. Interventions can run anywhere between $2,000 to $3,500, depending, maybe more, depending on the circumstances and travel, those kinds of things. But when you look at the opportunity cost of not doing a structured intervention and sending this someone to treatment for the right reasons, you could possibly be looking at repeated treatment, which is very common because they didn't exactly know what was expected of them, or they somehow skirted the emotional impact that they're having on the family. That is very important, and I talk about that in some of my other segments. An ounce of prevention can go a long ways. Again, bringing family, friends together to effectively deal with the problem, at least acknowledge that the problem is bigger than you, and that's probably why you called in a professional. But again, back to the reasons why we do interventions. Because the disease is sitting there, the dysfunction is sitting there doing push-ups, and it's waiting for your family and or group, and especially the afflicted person, when they let their guard down. Promises and intentions get us nowhere. It's the actions that we do. Those are what are most important. When you don't do an intervention, there is a ton of gray area, okay? Because you have the addict and or alcoholic, or the person with the behavioral issue, telling each person in the family individually what they need to hear so they can stay in their disease or dysfunction. That continues. The communication between family members, and more importantly, between family members and the person with the problem, the addict and or alcoholic or behavioral issue, that continues. Because let's face it, if you don't know, you don't know. You might assume that they are displeased. The addict and or alcoholic may, I'm sorry, the addict and or alcoholic may assume that you are displeased, but if you've never stated that, especially in a calm, structured manner, they don't understand. Generally, when a family or group delays intervention, people lose interest. They say, well, he'll figure it out eventually. The problem with this theory is some people never find bottom. And that's what should scare the group the most. If it's too late, it's too late for someone. You've got to try to help them out of that hole to the best of your ability. And by the way, parents should be excited, and or groups, families should be excited about doing an intervention, because at the end of my interventions in particular, in my process, there will not be another one. Okay? All facts leading up to the intervention, the letters, everything is spelled out for that person. And from that day forward, they know what is expected of them. If an intervention doesn't occur, they don't receive that. Again, this is Chad Hedin with Action Brings Change. Thank you.